All right, what's up, YouTube? This is BoxingWave. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are back with another breakdown. As much as I want to continue talking about Bud Crawford and Errol the Truth Spence, and hopefully we get the fight, but I'm definitely going to make more content on those two, so be on the lookout for that. But we have other fights to cover, all right? We have a big fight this weekend, and every other weekend. We have a beautiful boxing schedule coming up. So let's get into Tyson Fury against Dillian Whyte. Now, this fight is for the WBC Heavyweight Championship. This fight is going to be covered. It's going to be on BT Sports if you're out in the UK. And if you're here in the States, you can watch it on ESPN pay-per-view this Saturday. All right? And it's going to be early in the afternoon because it's a UK fight. So I think the main card starts at 2 p.m. Eastern. And they should be entering the ring around 5:36 p.m. Eastern, all right? I'll let you guys know if I can do live commentary. I'm still trying to work that out, make sure I'm get home so I can jump online. But the only thing is I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to cover the entire fight card like I normally do, okay? So I'll let you guys know. Now, this fight here, long time in the making. Long time in the making, and I don't even mean this fight specifically. I mean Dillian Whyte's heavyweight title shot. Okay, he's definitely earned it. He's definitely well deserving of it, and he's been wanting it for a long time. And he's finally getting it. All right, I wanted it with him when Wilder was a WBC champ. We didn't get that, but he's been a mandatory. He's been #1 for whatever amount of days. It's been a long time. But we're finally here. So these two fighters, they're really even, not as far as styles or anything. I mean, as far as like where they are as professionals. They both around the same age. Okay, Dillian just turned 34 the other day, and Tyson Fury is 33 years old. They have roughly around the same amount of professional fights, and they both had the same amount of fight in the last few years. Tyson Fury fought Deontay Wilder in 2018 for the first time. Fought Otto Wallin and Tom Schwartz in 2019. All right, so he had 2 fights in 2019, and then in 2020 he had a fight with Deontay Wilder, and they had a trilogy in 2021. All right, so he fought twice in 2019, fought once in 2020, and once in 2021. And Dillian Whyte, pretty much same thing. 2019 he fought Oscar Rivas. All right, he fought Marius Wack the same year in 2019. Fought in 2020 against Alexander Povetkin when he took the L, and then he fought him again in 2021. All right, so as far as like preparation, age, stuff like that, there's no real advantage. They're around the same age. They got around the same amount of fights, and they've been just as active, you know, equally. So there's no advantages there. All right. So before this fight, when this fight was announced, I liked it, you know, and I like it. And I'm neutral here. I normally tell you guys, yo, I want this fighter to win, but this is who I think is going to win. I'm actually kind of neutral here because as much as I like Dillian Whyte, I do like him. I respect him. I respect his resume. Like, he's consistent. You know, most of the top fighters is like they'll fight one real dangerous fight, and then they'll fight like a few, you know, 2 or 3 like easy fights. Dillian Whyte is tough fights all the way straight through his resume. So I respect him, and I just really wanted him to get his shot at a title because I think he's well deserving, and I think he's been a top 5 heavyweight for years now. So I'm just glad with that. Fury I like for different reasons. Fury I like because I respect his skills. You know, I respect his, you know, I don't really care for him as a person and all that. Like, he's okay with me. I don't have a problem with him, but I like him for what he can do in the ring. I mean, the guy, for his size, this guy is 6'9", 85-inch reach, okay? The way the guy can move, and especially the way that he doesn't look and appear like he can move the way, like he's as athletic as he is, but he is, and he can naturally move better than any other heavyweight in the game, you know? So anyway, I'm kind of neutral. I'm not really rooting. I just kind of want to get a good fight. You know, whoever wins, I'm cool. If Tyson Fury beats him up, I'm cool with that. If Dillian Whyte ends up, you know, getting the upset win, I'm cool with that too. You know, I just want it to be fair. And this is a big fight out in Wembley. They got like 94,000 tickets sold, and BT Sports got the fight. So it should be a fun fight, you know, and that's that. I'm neutral. All right. So Dillian Whyte, he's 6'4", you know, clearly not as tall. 6'4", 78 or 88, is it 78? Yeah, 78-inch reach. All right, so he's obviously shorter than Fury. You know, has a shorter reach or whatever, but very physically strong. And what I mean, like, of course, he has power, punching power, but he's physically strong, has good endurance. I know a lot of people are going to compare him to Wilder, all right, and what he can do compared to Wilder. Two totally, completely different fighters. When I think of Deontay Wilder compared to Dillian Whyte, I think of Wilder being like, you know, much quicker, more athletic, quicker feet, quicker hands. He got the big right hand, you know, that knocks people out instantly. You know, Wilder, tough, you know, but so is Dillian Whyte, but limited, not as versatile as Dillian Whyte. I think Dillian Whyte has more tools, more, you know, weapons in his arsenal. I think he's more balanced. I think he's physically stronger, maybe not as powerful, but power in both hands. All right. He can knock you out with the hook. He can knock you out with the right cross. He can knock you out anyway, put you down. Better inside game, better body puncher, better endurance. You know, I wouldn't say more durable. I don't know who's more durable between the two, because Wilder's been knocked out by Fury twice, and Dillian Whyte has been knocked out twice in his career. I don't really know who's more durable, but I think in heavyweights, anybody can get knocked out in this division. You know, no one has a chin that's strong enough to not get knocked out. I haven't really seen it, but or knocked down. But yeah, I think he's more versatile. I think he's more balanced. He can do pretty much, you know, a lot more. He can pressure. He can fight on his back foot. Good counter puncher, solid counter puncher. Yes, but he has his flaws. Now, the fights that I watch leading up to this breakdown, I did some film study today and a little bit yesterday, and I went back to the Robert Helenius fight. I went back to that fight because that's a fight that I remember Dillian showing some of his flaws, looking predictable. Okay, you know, Robert Helenius is very tall. You know, so he's tall, not Fury tall, but he's very tall, much taller than Dillian Whyte. But he was able to avoid Dillian Whyte's right hands and lead left hooks and step around him. All right. So I watched that fight because simply I wanted to see Whyte's flaws, and we saw some of them there, and I'll get to that. I watched the Oscar Rivas fight specifically because I wanted to see how Dillian Whyte would fight backing up on his back foot, because Rivas was the pressure fighter. Rivas was the guy that was trying to close the gap. We know that Dillian Whyte can fight well on the inside, but Rivas was the guy that wanted to close the gap and get inside and lay down those power shots. So if you want to see Dillian Whyte and how he's going to fight back on his back foot, just in case Tyson Fury tries to pressure him, watch that fight. Maybe watch the Derek Chisora fight too. The second fight, I mean, not the first fight, because that's just a war, no defense, no strategy, just two guys just banging it out. So I wouldn't go to that fight, but I watched some of the Rivas fight. I watched some of the Helenius fight. And what other fights I did watch? Oh, Joseph Parker. I watched that first. I went to that fight first right away because Joseph Parker's very quick. I wanted to see how he was willing to deal with Joseph Parker's speed, and he did very well. He actually handled Parker very well in that fight because Parker got the speed. He's, you know, somewhat elusive, moves pretty well. Good hand speed, like I said, good timing, good counterpunch. He likes to set traps, similar to what Fury is. Fury's obviously on a higher level, but Parker is going to give you some of those things that Fury can actually do. You know what I'm saying? Like, Parker moves really well and stuff. So Dillian Whyte was able to drop him twice. And that's a good fight to check out too. So I know he almost got stopped late in that last round, but that's a fight that was a good challenge for Dillian Whyte. So those are the fights that I checked out just to look for some key things, and it shows that Dillian Whyte can really do it all. But yes, he has his flaws. Now his major flaws is one thing that I always had an issue with Whyte is that he puts his whole body into all of his punches, and he still sometimes telegraphs his punches. He cops back, he jerks back before he throws, and you can kind of see it. He doesn't have good hand speed, and he doesn't have quick feet. Right? He's not light on his feet. So he kind of becomes a little bit predictable, with the jab, the 1-2, the 1-2, the 1-2 over and over again. At times, you see Helenius slip it, step to his left, and step around Dillian Whyte. Even with the lead left hook, sometimes he has a jab, sometimes he got to double up at the jab. Sometimes, I think since he's a pretty respectable inside fighter, sometimes I think he should work more on the inside and just close the gap with these taller guys that can move better and stuff. Sometimes I think he can stay on the outside. Yes, he can box on the outside and go with anyone, but sometimes I think his inside game is where it's at. Plus, you want to get close enough to connect with that big left hook, which is his biggest punch, his best punch, all right? Knocked out, a lot of guys, dropped a lot of guys, Parker, Povetkin, Chisora, clipped Anthony Joshua. These are that left hook is legit. One of the most dangerous left hooks out there, all right? So with that being said, Dillian Whyte is dangerous for Tyson Fury because if it's becoming a fight, it's not like he's different from Wilder. Wilder don't have that game in the inside like that. And I think if this becomes a fight, similar to Fury and Wilder did, where Dillian Whyte is fighting on the inside, if he can close a gap with Fury, Fury is slower, he's taller, not taller, but he's heavier. I think he would have a better shot on the inside, right? So with that being said, Dillian Whyte needs to close the gap between the two. Use that jab to get in range, to connect with that. Let's, get Fury to trade, exchange, because Fury can get hit. He's good defense. He could move, he could slip, he could roll punches well. You know what I'm saying? He could get underneath those shots. He can bend, but he's heavier, right? And being that he's heavier and he's a little older, he doesn't move like the way he did in the Klitschko. And I'm gonna go straight into Tyson Fury here because Fury, with him, I did go back and watch the Wilder trilogy, I did go back to watch a little bit of the Klitschko fight only because I wanted to just confirm to myself that version of Fury is gone. And it's gone. I seen the open workout this morning, all right, with the one that Dillian Whyte did not show up to because he's kind of protesting against the promotion of this fight. And Tyson Fury is there with no shirt, and we can see that he's heavy. He's at least around the same weight as he was in the Deontay Wilder trilogy. Very hairy, but he was bringing pressure. He was coming forward. He was looking to land big right hand, sitting down on those punches. He wasn't just pop shotting like he normally do. You know what I'm saying? So Fury, he said he was going to come in heavier. We expected that. And it's not a bad thing because I wasn't expecting Fury to drop down in weight anyway. I know when he's lower in weight, yes, he could move a little better. He's a little slicker. He's sharper. He could bend better. He could get low. He could do a little things. He moves better. But you know what? He still moves as a heavy man, as a 6'9", 280 pound or whatever he's going to weigh in. He still moves better than most heavyweights. So he's probably never going to go back down. And probably going back down would probably be bad from him at this point, at this age. He probably just wants to stay heavy and just stay sharp. But, I went back to watch some of the Wilder fight, some of the Klitschko fight. I didn't do too much film study because I know what Fury is bringing is more. He's even more versatile because he can switch. He could fight as a southpaw. He could fight as an orthodox fighter. He has the reach advantage, the height advantage, and he knows how to use it. But he can handle himself on the inside as well. All right, go to the body. He has a great jab. He feints a lot. He knows how to do a lot of tricks with that lead hand. Good at head control. And now he's putting down a lot of power in those right hands as well. So there's a lot of things that he does. You got to watch the hook. You got to watch him switching. You got to watch whatever he does. Plus, he's moving and countering at the same time. He's not stationary unless he wants to be. And you can trap him and put him in the corner, and he's safe there too. because he knows how to roll the punches. He knows how to duck underneath shots. He's good. He's very elusive. He's real slick, all right, and tricky. So he brings a lot to someone like Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte has never fought anyone that's as slick as Tyson Fury, you know? And I think Fury is going to use that range to his advantage. I'm expecting Dillian Whyte to come out and try to put pressure on Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is going to use that jab. I think it's going to cause and force Dillian Whyte to fight out of the high guard to try to get, you know, from getting clipped with those jabs, because Tyson Fury is not going to shoot it and stand right there. He's going to be moving while he does it, you know, and now Dillian Whyte is going to be forced to have to follow him while trying to connect and try to close the gap. So I think he's going to be in that high guard, and Tyson Fury is going to be throwing right hands down the pipe through the guard, connecting, okay? Another thing, when I was saying about Dillian Whyte earlier, about the predictable right hands and the lead left hooks that he throw, if there's a space between enough space, Tyson Fury is not only going to step to his left like the way Helenius did it, but Tyson Fury is going to step to his left and counter with a right hook or a left hand. You know what I'm saying? He's going to step and pivot around him and catch him and make him pay. He's going to counter and hit Dillian Whyte, because Dillian Whyte is kind of slow when it comes to turning himself and following his opponent. And he kind of leaves himself. His guard is down. He's open to get countered. It's just that he ain't fighting nobody yet that moves that well. You know, Joseph Parker probably the best one. You know, AJ didn't move like that. AJ was coming straight at him. It's trying to destroy him. All right? So Dillian Whyte got to make sure, like, yo, once you throw that right hand, if you miss, guard up. You got to watch what's coming around you. And plus, Tyson Fury with those long arms, he's going to throw punch and hooks. He's going to throw hooks right around that guard. All right, he's going to start connecting and being consistent with those scoring shots. Dillian got to do so much more to get in. But if he does get in, and at the moment, and this is what Dillian needs to do. Dillian needs to be consistent with that body. Keep working the body. Deontay Wilder, especially in the third match, was doing very good with that body, trying to, you know, scoring shots and trying to slow Tyson Fury down. But Tyson Fury, as flabby as he is down there, everybody goes to the body. You know, I've seen videos of him in the gym. As much as flabby as it looked, don't get it twisted. He can take shots to the body. I don't think Tyson Fury has ever been down with a body shot. He can take it, but you want to slow the big man down, because, you know, you don't want him fighting at a high level later in the fight if it goes there. You know, so Dillian Whyte has to do whatever he has to do to keep that endurance up. Hopefully his endurance and his physical shape is on point, because he needs to fight at a high level all the way to the end, because it's going to take so much work just to close the gap. You know what I'm saying? So Dillian Whyte, once he gets in that space, see, that's where Fury has to be careful, because Fury is going to be, if he wants to fight on the inside, I know he can handle on the inside. I know he can tie up good, all right, and protect himself. Dillian Whyte is dangerous in that mid, you know, close range, because he has that hook, you know, and it's very short and quick. That's his best punch. He had to worry about those short shots. That's close range. While he's in there, he can't get lazy, and we seen him get lazy and get caught with some shots on the inside, because Dillian have enough power to he definitely has enough power to drop Tyson Fury at any point. All right. So anyway, I think for Fury, overall, I think Fury, you know, keep some space between the two. You know, I know he can handle himself on the outside, use that jab, throw that right hand, throw those left hooks from the outside, because you're not going to miss from out there. You know, Dillian Whyte is going to have to cover up, because Fury is just too smooth, too quick, and he doesn't have to be stationary to get his best shots off. Otherwise, on the other hand, Dillian Whyte needs to close the gap. Got a good jab, got a very good jab. Double up on that jab, get in range. Don't just be predictable with the right hand, because that's what Fury trained for 3 fights with Wilder. So switch it up. Do something a little different, all right? Throw that right hand, but throw it into the body. All right, and then get in range, move those feet a little bit, and try to set up that left hook, because that's the punch that's gonna drop Fury and put him down. Overall, I think either fighter could win either way. I think with Dillian Whyte, if he's gonna win on points, if this fight goes to the decision, I think White has to do much more to win a decision, because I think he needs like maybe a knockdown or two to win a decision against Tyson Fury. Real talk. I know he's gonna be more active than Wilder, and he probably gonna connect with more shots than Wilder. But he's gonna be getting hit too. You know what I'm saying? I think he's capable of stopping Fury, but he would have to really hurt Fury, because Fury's shown to have a great chin. I don't think it's just going to be one left hook or one right cross to do it. I think he can land it, because Fury does slow down. He's easier to hit now that he is heavier. All right, but I think it takes more than just that. I think he needs to do a little bit more to win the decision, or even a knockout or a stoppage, because Fury's got a very tough chin and he always gets back up. All right. Fury, on the other hand, I think he's more likely to win a decision, just because he has the higher boxing technique and IQ, and he has to do less work to land scoring shots. All right. But I also feel that he is capable and has the power to possibly knock out Dillian Whyte. All right. With that right hand, touching him up with the jab all night long, and landing a right hand, right cross or an uppercut every once in a while, just to stun Dillian Whyte, who's been knocked out twice already. So I think it could be, there's so many different outcomes, but I'm going to pick the safe pick. I'm rolling with Tyson Fury. I think he's going to win this fight. All right. I just can't see myself betting against him at this point. He's just too good, and he can adjust in so many different ways. And I think he just has the physical advantages. He's the better athlete between the two. And coming off those Wilder wins, like the way he did look dominant twice against Wilder. And I think those performances were just way better than what Dillian was able to give us against Alexander Povetkin. You know what I'm saying? Is overall, Fury's just too good, too tall, too heavy, too big. He can just do more and adjust. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going with Tyson Fury. I don't know about knockout decision. I think if he does get a stoppage, I'm guessing it's gonna be late, or he can go to decision. But either way, I have Fury winning this one. All right. Anyway, it should be a good fight. I'll let you guys know if I could do live commentary, man. Again, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button if you like the content. Share the video if you can. And I'll see you guys on the next one. All right. Peace.